Hey there, Reverend Sully, Eric O'Sullivan ordained on the internet. The caveat, as always, please do not burn your hands holding on to my hot takes. If you do, well, that's on you, pal, or gal, or any friend who identifies in the spectrum of humanity. Welcome. Welcome to, Let's Get Geeky Together. Is that what I wrote it down as? Let's Geek Together. Yeah, that's the branding I'm going for. No, it's called Let's Geek Together. And it's about getting together and geeking together. And to hopefully, you'll find someone to geek with as well, But until then, we can geek together this way, like with each other and be geeks. And what I'm doing is I'm going on Longbox dives, where I have this half full or half empty Longbox that's been down in my basement for a while. I barely remember what's in this. It'll come back to me. And I'm just going to go through them and just show you comic books. Probably some purists out there are going to say, those need boards, you bloody savage. You're right, they do. They all need new bags. They all need new boards. And I need some new long boxes because these long boxes have been literally fighting dust and humidity for a couple of years now. And maybe it's time to show my old funny books some love. But let's show some love by giving them some attention. What do we got in here? Oh, wow. More than some funny books, we got some... Oh, wow. Here we go. Some of the last comic books I bought. Oh, gosh. And... Whoa. Some Legos instructions. I got... My mom bought me this for Christmas 2015. It got me into Legos for a couple of years. I was pretty much Mr. Lego... 2015 through 2019 or so. I had a Lego phase, yes, as a grown up, and but my mom got me something she couldn't afford when I was a kid in the 80s. A Millennium Falcon, and she did. She finally did. Yeah, wow, and this was the TFA Falcon. And the Han Solo that comes with this, old Han Solo, his head and his hands went on a Joker body so I can make the third Doctor. And I did. So this came with 3 Doctors Who, Capaldi, and no, it came with 2. And the rest of them I free-made one of them, and I special ordered the rest. I did. 9, 10, 11, and 4, and 13. Yeah. So this was that. Was just... If they ever come undone. Oh, wow. What do we got here? More Legos. Yeah. The Ghostbusters Ecto 1. And yeah, if you looked at that quick enough, you can see which one it was. I keep that one intact as a reminder of shame, I guess, or just just a reminder, I guess. No shame in it. I tried to enjoy it when I saw it, and I went with very good friends, and I had a really good night out with friends seeing that. And we went to the there was a Lego Land shop right next to the movie theater, and we went in there, and I got this Lego kit. They didn't have any of the traditional Ghostbusters, but we hadn't thought about it yet. We hadn't really figured out what was wrong with that movie. Okay, in here we have got a bunch of these awful digest-sized New X-Men by Grant Morrison. A horrible thing to do to a great comic book. Yeah, this was. I got all of these ones, but yeah, look. I mean, the binding. It's got a gum binding to it, and it's also shrunk the art. I was going to say, no, I got this at, at a cute price, maybe about, I forget how much. You know what I mean? It wasn't that much. But that's probably why they just wanted to get rid of them. Because they were all like that. They just, Here Comes Tomorrow. That's great comic books. These were great comic book stories by great comic book storytelling people that were allowed to do their job. Yeah, so that's that. Wow. Annihilator by Grant Morrison and Fraser Irving on Legendary Press. Yep, this was $3.99 at the time. It doesn't have date, so we'll look on the indicia. The indicia here, this page that shows all of our, our writer is Grant Morrison, Fraser Irving, an amazing illustrator. But look at that. He's done. Fraser Irving does his own. He pencils, inks, and colors. Yes, Jared Fletcher does a great job on lettering this, and yeah, Annihilator. This is a. Grant Morrison had this really weird Trent Reznor wannabe phase. That's what I'm going to call that. After X-Men, after he left the X-Men in 2005, he did some amazing stuff over at DC Comics with Final Crisis, All-Star Superman. Here are the rest of them. Yep, all 5 of them. Yeah, just some weird psycho magic. A tortured artist who was writing a book or making a movie, and Fraser Irving draws great faces. This is good. He's one of my favorite artists. I would buy something just because he's doing the art. I have, actually. Oh, see, these old bags are ripping at the sides. They don't even have a board in there. How you doing so far? Yeah, so we're going through this long box. Why? Why not? Got some really, oh wow, these are interesting. All right, I remember getting these 3 from a friend. I was working with somebody. He had survived a form of cancer, and he was just one of those guys that had the light of life in his eyes, and that he's on the other side of things, that he just appreciates things, and he got into comic books again because we started talking comic books, and he started going to the comic book store and started buying it. So when I worked at the restaurant, he was one of the managers, and I was the brunch cook. And after brunch, we would sit at the bar and we'd talk about comic books and have our shift drink. And I would give him a stack, and then he started giving me comic books to read. So here are 3 floppies from that he was like, yeah, hold on to those. I guess, if you want. So this is the Eddingville Club by Dark Horse Comics. Also, Grindhouse, Prison Ship Antares. Fortunately, this was written by Alex Campi. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder why I didn't like that. Or maybe I should go back and read it and give her a chance. Don't judge me because I'm on a Whisper network. All right. Wow. Let's look at these ones. Wholly Problematic Batman. It's Fight Club 2. And there's also a follow-up called Fight Club 3, which was also published by Dark Horse Comics. And I believe... Can I be allowed to say his name? Or will this suffice? Will I get tagged if I say his name for something bad? Go on the bad list for owning a piece of his art? I mean, I've you know what? We're never going to see Sea Guy triumphant. We're never going to get that 3rd act of Sea Guy. not now. But Chuck Palahniuk tried to follow up his novel Fight Club, not the movie, in this, it started with a really good premise. What if Marla was cheating on her husband with Tyler? After all these years, she brought Tyler back because she was bored. And then it gets worse from there. It becomes completely way too meta for its own good. And it's actually a lousy story. And it's a waste of all the talents involved. I would not even look at part 3 just because this was so stupid and so bad. But when did this come out? How can you tell? Once again, how can you tell when this comic book was published? Well, we'll look at the indicia, which is in the bottom of this page. But look how, hey, it's Space Monkeys. Behold, it's the same people that brought us the mock-up of the plane crash information. You know what I mean? In those picture cards. But yeah, right in the bottom there, you'll always see it's publication history. Yeah, indicia. Oh, jeez. Here we go. I forgot about the last time, but we'll have to do it now. Oh, yeah. He's got it. Oh, come on. Oh, what a tangled web we weave. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, hello. Damn. All right. Colors by Dave Stewart. Covers by David Mack. Yeah. I mean, Cam Stewart is a really good illustrator. He penciled and inked his own work here. And it's Fight Club Fight Club 2, number 1, May 2015. And as I remember correctly, this was stingy and took a while to release. I'll look at the last one. But yeah, it was so bad that I wouldn't even think of getting Fight Club 3. It's by the same creative battery. Fight Club 9. It was a $3.99 cover price. Some beautiful David Mack art. That's a $3.99 cover price right there. Let's see. From Dark Horse Comics. Dark Horse. Great print. Number 3 when I was a kid. Hey, look. Yay. We're doing the same thing over again. Yay. Okay, this one. Hey, the editor is notoriously problematic here. This is February 2016, so it appears to have come out regularly. Yes. Yeah, just not a very good story. It was like, yeah, I was really looking forward to this too. I really love the movie, but the book is funny. I went through a Palahniuk phase. Me and my friends, we all tried to read a lot of Palahniuk, like Choke, and what was that? American Beauties, or just the one with the model who lost the bottom of her jaw. Forgot about that one. Let's see. Oh, the Legends of Tomorrow Super Special. Let's try to tie in stuff. This has got to be from 2015 or so. We've got some Batman versus Superman stuff on the back and the front. This is extra thick. It's $7.99, and this was the Liquid logo, not the new the Neo Bullet that they use. The Bullet when you hear some people say the Bullet, the DC, I'll find. See, this is the newer one. What they're currently using. They went to the Liquid logo for a while when they went fully like New 52. And this is meant to support the TV show. This is some corporate syzygy. And okay, yeah, the indicia for the magazine itself, because this is an anthology of different creatives and different properties. So DC Comics. Legends of Tomorrow Anthology, May 2016. Yes. We've got the Metal Man, we got Metamorpho, we got Sugar and Spike. Woo! Yes, we're throwing things at the wall. We'll see what's going to stick. Alrighty. Okay. I've tuned in. I would buy anything by Warren Ellis. This is Karnak. He's apparently one of the Eternals. I think so. This is probably came about the same time. It was $2.99, I believe. $3.99. Yeah, this is in issue 1. So it's $3.99. So it doesn't say the date. Yeah, so let's keep looking. There. Is this one of the clever ones that has it on the last page? Who is Karnak? I didn't care. I don't think I got part 2. Where's the Indicia page? Why does this have to be so hard to read a comic book? Oh, here we go. December 2015. Warren Ellis. David Aja did the cover. This bag broke. Got some Grant Morrison, Doctor Who from IDW. This is Descender on Image. Did not get into that. That was a miss. Yeah. One of the many Iron Man issue number 1s in the past 12 years. Check out the art though. This is a pretty decent solid floppy. I mean, this was there's a yeah, that's the cardstock. There's another cover underneath where it's blank. That's cute. Sure, okay. And it's it's a lot of Bendis, blah blah blah. David Marquez. He did the art, and the cover art is pretty good. This is not the ID grad enough. What is it? Don't know. Don't care. But yeah, what did we say this one was? We didn't. December 2015. I'm sensing a theme here. Yeah, that's when I stopped buying Marvel. And then a couple of years later, with DC's Heroism in Crisis, stopped buying DC comics as well. But I was a weekly buyer for a long time. Let's see what else we got in here. This is like a toss pot, literally. I mean, I don't know what's in here. Okay. I remember just buying these because I was interested in getting some comic books. So I got these all about the same time. The Green Lantern, New Guardians, when Kyle Rayner was the White Lantern. I bought this because they were doing the incentive that month was parodies of movie posters. I got this just for the cover. The story is terrible. This is a really awful comic book, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I just didn't like. And this is a complete mess, except for the cover, which is ripping off the Lost Boys, and I love Hitman. Hitman was a great, funny book. It would be good to go back and actually get all those floppies of Hitman, and just to have them. But Garth Ennis, you might know him from The Boys on Amazon Prime. John McCrae, this is a part of their Hitman universe, and Section 8 is a super team of super flops. This is Six Pack. He's the drunk, and his hero. His superpower is alcoholism. And there are 7 other members of this, including Pedro Excelente, and his powers are perversion, Dog Welder, the defenestrator, whose power is to throw you through every window, and Jean de Bedon. He was, I am French, I think. Baton. Oh my gosh, because he was an Irishman making fun of the French people, and back when it was allowed. But it's pretty funny. All right, this one was actually okay. Oh, this one's a heartbreaker. It was Jeff Lemire's Trillium. It started off really interesting because you had to flip the comic book over. And so it was just interesting publishing because it was a flip book. And in the center of it, you had to flip the cover, and everything was flipped for the other half. It was nice. Kitson and Wade did Empire, and this was an interesting, funny book. They tried to return to the universe, but it was just better as a story told. Aww. I fucking hate Archie comics because of this. Afterlife with Archie, it was a triumph. It was a triumph. It was a new Archie world where Archie went Walking Dead, and it was just what an amazing conceit. Reggie accidentally kills Jughead's dog and goes to Sabrina and guilts her into bringing the dog back, which breaks all the magical rules and creates a vortex open to the undead world. And it was so well done, and then it stopped because of some office bullshit. Yeah, the artist didn't do something, failed, and it just said now it's part of the many comic books that will just up and fail you. It just stopped, and geez, I would love to send and mail them back. Like, Fear, you keep your unfinished story. Take them back. I don't want them anymore. Really, and they even successfully made an imprint called Afterlife with Archie, but they couldn't even complete that initial story that we were all hooked into. Oh, it was so good, man. Boom Studios, I got the original Avengers, Steve and Emma Peel. These are some Grant Morrison comic books that he made in the late 80s and early 90s, and these were just sort of reprints of his older stuff. It wasn't good enough to continue. I got 4 issues all day of it. The new Avengers Finale. Oh wow, there must be. I got. Oh yeah, I think this is about Siege. This is the new Avengers Annual, where the Dark Avengers Annual. The Dark Avengers were hunting down Marvel Boy. This was actually a really good comic book. When did this happen? Back when Bendis was okay. This February 26, 2010. Let me just make sure I got that right. No, it's not a 6. The Dark Avengers. I loved this actually. Yeah, February of 2010. The Dark Avengers. That's Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, faking it as the Iron Patriot. Wolverine is actually his evil son, Daken. I actually asked Marjorie Liu, how do I pronounce his name? It's Daken. So if you want to know how to pronounce Daken, no, it's Daken. Daken, I got that from Marjorie Liu years ago on Twitter. This is true. And what else? Ms. Marvel is Moonstone. I think that's it. And Dark Spider-Man is actually Venom, and Hawkeye is actually is Bullseye. Yeah, and Marvel Boy, and then Marvel Boy realizes that who he's thrown in with, and it's then they go after him. I love the Marvel Boy story by Grant Morrison. It's actually on my shelf as a hardcover. Yeah, this was the beginning of the end with me with Marvel. Was something called Siege. When did this come out? Siege was just like, it was just one event after another, after another. This was June 2010, yeah. And everything started getting all new, all different. And that's when I lost my, I kind of just like lost my taste for Marvel comic books. They were trying to do something. Just wasn't, they had to compete with DC. They knew that DC was doing something. Here's something interesting. These were Wednesday comics. These came out. These were in a newspaper form. This was $3.99 at the time, and the NDC is on the back right here. These came out every Wednesday for a couple of months. Gosh, I really do need these glasses. Damn. This is Wednesday Comics issue 2, September of 2009. And it's an anthology, non-canonical. And in each issue, you'll find tales from these 9 told in this, which still is the Sunday Comics the Sunday Comics format. So this is a Nazarello Rizzo Batman tale. Isn't this great, though? I mean, Kamani, Superman. You got a Green Lantern tale in here by Kurt Busiek and Joe Quinones. I mean, this is a really, this is a love letter to comics. Yeah, these are non-canonical tales. Yeah, Eddie Berganza, huh? and Sean Galloway. But that's beautiful art. Yeah, just these are, and Mike Allred and Neil Gaiman did this Metamorpho. This is basically a splash page. It's really awesome. Yeah. So I got a couple of these. You have to fold them correctly, get them back, and then and it's yellowing like newspapers should. Yeah, Wednesday Comics. Oh yeah, these guys in the front too. Yeah, so that's the front cover. Yeah. It's interesting. I don't think I ever finished this. Yeah. Let's see. It's 6. That's 5, and I don't have issue 6. Yeah, I don't, because I didn't care. This is Jonathan Ross and Brian Hitch, America's Got Powers. This is on Image Studios. This is a $2.99 cover price. Brian Hitch is an amazing modern master. He's just a really, really good artist. This came out in April of 2012, and it's a 6-issue Image title. And Image has a really interesting publication thing. Any artist combination can go to Image and get anything of theirs published, but they have to, basically fund it all themselves. It's probably the great granddaddy of crowdfunding, and but they have publishing, distribution, and the infrastructure in order for you to get your stuff published. Some new 52 Red Hood. I thought it was interesting. I love Jason Todd. I love Speedy and Firestar. Starfire, rather. That was pretty cool, Just Kenneth Rocafor's pencils are good. I just didn't like his use of negative space in the backgrounds. I remember trying to get into the new 52 Constantine. They changed his character. They did something I always wanted to do, which was bring Constantine back into the DCU to play with superheroes, because he started that way. And eventually, over time, it became that was the Hellblazer world, and it didn't interact with the DC superheroes. Oh boy, yeah, issue 52. Batman. I gave all of my Batman comic books to a kid. That was great. Here's a good old one. It's Neil Gaiman, The Book of Magic. Oh wow, this is canonical. This is book 4, 1 of 4. This has a $3.95 cover price. This is copyright 1990. This is a prestige. Was this prestige format? And it's about this is about magic users, the magic users of the DC universe in 1990. We're opening up here. We've got Phantom Stranger. We've got John Constantine. Yeah, I mean, I can't even keep track with all these. And then it's what's his name? The Tim Horton? No, it's the kid that came out before Harry Potter, and he was like his name's Tim Hunter. Tim Hunter, and he was the original Harry Potter. He was before there was a Harry. I'm wondering if like they can bring him back, and people would say he's ripping off Harry Potter, when in fact it's kind of the other way around. You know, boy, genius boy wizard. Here's an old one. Kill Your Boyfriend by Grant Morrison and is it Philip Boyd? Yeah, Philip Bond and by Disraeli. Oh wow, what happened to you? That's right, I lent it out to a friend, and this was their puppy did that. Oh yeah, I forgot. This was $5.99 cover price. It's just it's a Vertigo. Vertigo used to do these one and dones, and is this even? Yeah, that's Vertigo. Let's look in the indicia. 1998. Yeah. Originally published DC Comics, 1995. So this is, I love this Philip Bond art. Just this good stuff. Oh, this is one of the worst comic books I ever had to tune into. I mean, I love Grant Morrison's work, and I love Chris Burnham, because Chris Burnham did a lot in DC Comics and Batman Incorporated with Grant Morrison. Really good art, and this thing has such depth of symbolism and iconographies and just deep art and grotesque and Lovecraft level of different parallel universes. It's kind of like the movie Event Horizon. Like it's like the portal to hell has been opened up, and you have these magical astronauts that are just failing at their mission. But it's just all the imagery in there is just so very Christian. I grew up with seeing all this as a Christian, with all these imagery of hell and of pitchforks and of tortured souls. And this comic book is just nothing but just bad, like awful sex imagery, and it just ended up being a very terrible story. And it wasn't very, this Image Press. It was $2.99 an issue, making this about $18 altogether. It's a February 2015 cover price. And it's usually Grant Morrison is very smart, but this is him at his most cynical, and his most evil, and his most bleak. And it's the same problem I had with Annihilator. There was this kind of like, there was nihilism involved in there. There wasn't any hope. There was just all about, it's just some weird, he was going through some weird shit for him to write all that stuff, because his usual stuff is pretty good. Like I say, I love Image Press, and I got some of the the Luther Strode books. This was really interesting for the time, but it got old pretty quick. They tried to really think. It's one of the things one of those instances where you have more ambition than story, and they had a really good first story, and it didn't really land the rest of it. Oh, here we go. This is Kid Eternity by Grant Morrison. I should get some better yeah, this is $4.95 cover price, no ads. Wow. And this was Vertigo of the early 80s. I mean, the late 80s rather. 1990, it says. Let's see. Once again. Kid Eternity. This was a Golden Age character about a kid who unfortunately dies, but he's able to come back from the dead, and help people. And so this is 1991. This is pre-Vertigo. And he's trying to do the same treatment that Gaiman is doing over in Sandman. Sandman also is a pre-existing Golden Age character that they're trying to revamp for modern audiences. Yeah, I mean, comics has pretty much always been guilty of that. But this is like, in the days of college radio and coolness and coffee bars and just this is really interesting art. Maybe it was more for stoners than we thought. You can smoke a spleef and just stare at this all day. I need to find some new bags. We got some Sean Murphy White Knight in here. This is where I literally stopped buying comic books. We got to look at the indicia here. I stopped buying. I never finished this on floppies because my heart gave out buying comic books at comic book stores. December 2017, yeah, and that's issue 1. I should have this in a better thing. But yeah, I mean, I kind of lapsed on that a little bit, and then by the time Heroes in Crisis came out shortly thereafter, was pretty much done. All right, this is some Warren Ellis Image comics. These are great. I mean, there was a time at Image that were these are avatars, not Image. Yeah, this is Avatar comics, not Image. Okay, is this one Image? No, this is Avatar. Okay, so Avatar Press, they had a good working relationship with Warren Ellis. Warren Ellis did. This one's called Ignition City, and it's a really interesting, cute sci-fi story set in the future and almost tomorrow. Kind of steampunky future about, space jockeys. And the best thing about Warren Ellis is that he's a futurist. So he got into my mind, in my science fiction mind, was the importance of liftoffs from the equator. Because you're going to save fuel that way, and it's easier to get something into orbit shooting it from the equator using the maximum potential of the Earth's spin. You know what I mean? It's you're literally going faster than you would be going at the top of the world. Yeah. Science. And this one's called Captain Swing and the Electrical Pirates of Cindery Island. And yeah, he just makes he would just scribble off these stories and just get them done. He would get an artist and he'd publish them. And then people like me would buy them. Let's see this one here. I keep putting the glasses away like I'm not going to use them. That's so weird. And thanks for sticking with me so long. I mean, we're just going through comic books. We're just talking about comic books today. 2010. Avatar Press. Yes, this is issue 1. Yeah, and these were basically all made to support kind of the trade paperbacks that would come after this. Warren Ellis was a very, very prominent writer of the late 90s, most definitely of the 2000s. He's a heck of a superhero writer, but he also did a lot with steampunk and a lot of it with futurists too. Like futurists meaning like imagining the future and in terms of sci-fi and building a world that it's going to be like, oh wow, that's what happened. Like his Transmetropolitan, drawn by Derek Robertson, originally out on Vertigo Press. It was just it should be read every 4 years in a presidential election season. I mean, it's pretty darn good. But that's all I got for today. It's 40 minutes long now, and it's just going through a long box of comic books, getting geeky with it. I'm just, hopefully I'm a cute guy in a black tank top going through his long box, hanging out with you. If that's what the kind of company you're looking for, well, let's geek together. That's right, we're geeking together. That's right, gals, pals, anyone on the great spectrum of humanity in between. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Give me a thumbs up if you like this material. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't. I'm a big lad. I can handle it. Leave a comment in the comment section. Leave a question. I can read them on air. I'm going to start doing that. I film once a week, so don't get, if there's any kind of lag or anything, I mean, I'll get to them, or I'll start getting to them. And also, I want to earn your subscription. I'm an amateur theologian. I make spiritual content. I say, let's get spiritual, and we often do. I'm a professional chef. I make cooking videos, and you can tune in, get some delicious, nutritious, and beautiful cooking hacks so you can share with your family. I'm also doing a page a day, 365 days this year. We're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you're here this long, cheers. God bless you. Namaste.